November 30, 2018. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. The St. James Police are denying some claims made by the public defender Arlene Harrison Henry in her report to Parliament last week regarding conditions in which detainees are being held under the state of public emergency in St. James. Deputy Superintendent of Police Ainsley McCarthy told journalists at a news conference yesterday that, quote, "The information that ended up in the public domain, which I think was meant to demean the JCF, was broadcast right throughout Jamaica," end quote. He explained that he had spoken to the public defender on numerous occasions, so she could have asked for more clarification. According to the Jamaica Observer, a tour of the Freeport police station revealed a detention area and bathroom facility to be in good condition. There were no signs of cleanup work done before the arrival of the press. Freeport is the detention center for males, while Barrettstown is specifically made for the housing of children, and Cambridge for women. The public defender told Parliament that there were some 105 children up to the age of 17 detained as at October 31. However, Senior Superintendent of Police Anthony Morris, who is the officer in charge of the SOE, said this was not the case. According to Morris, the police records show that in January, 10 children were in custody. In February, they were 12. In March, 8. April, 11. May, 7, June, 5, July, 13, August, 12, September had 8, October had 11, and during this month, 8. He said that a number of the youngsters were processed and released immediately, except for 10 who were charged with serious offenses, 3 for murder, 4 for possession of firearms, 2 for sexual offenses, and 1 for what is considered a minor offense. The children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison has responded to parliamentary opposition's accusations of silence from her office over the detention of children under the state of public emergency in St. James, citing limited resources. On Wednesday, Opposition Member of Parliament Lisa Hanna stated that the role of the children's advocate was not evident, as a report from the public defender Arlene Harrison Henry suggested that some 105 children have been detained. Yesterday, Gordon Harrison said in a statement to the press that while the Office of Children's Advocate has commenced an investigation into the matter, the agency is stretched thin. She explained that the OCA first became aware of the numbers when the public defender submitted the report to the parliamentary committee. Since then, the Director of Investigations, Inspections and Compliance has been instructed to head into St. James to investigate the matter. There is a strong possibility that motorists shopping downtown Kingston this Christmas will have to pay to park on certain streets. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's Finance Committee approved a pilot project this week that will require motorists to pay for parking on certain streets in the commercial district. The corporation's CEO, Robert Hill, told the committee that the paid street parking pilot would be initiated on Ocean Boulevard, Church Street, Orange Street, West Street, and Port Royal Street, where it intersects the Ocean Boulevard. Hill said the proposal is for motorists to pay $100 for the first 2 hours of parking. The cost for 3 hours would be $200, and parking for over 3 hours would cost $200 per hour. The National Water Commission, NWC, is reporting that it is unable to pay pension liabilities totaling $19.5 billion. President of the NWC, Mark Barnett, told the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of Parliament this week that the utility company is now undertaking comprehensive pension reforms, and he warned that this will impact all employees.
NWC pension obligation is contextualized, because I wish not for it to be construed that NWC is unable to pay its pensions. All I'm saying is, under our current arrangement, NWC pays its pension through its operating revenue. That is not a sustainable approach to pension obligation, and therefore we are moving ahead to reform our pension internally so that it becomes compulsory for each and every employee.
Mr. Barnett explained that employees who become eligible for pensions are paid from the tariff collected from customers, but said this is not sustainable. The NWC boss said as part of the pension reforms, all employees of the utility company will have to contribute to their pension. He said this will require amendments to the NWC Act among the efforts to address the multi-billion-dollar pension liability. Barnett said the NWC is contemplating divestment of its properties that are not integral to the operations of the company.
Life have me under pressure. The only way to relieve the stress is musical pleasure.
Jamaican reggae, the music of the oppressed, which Bob Marley catapulted onto the global stage, won a coveted spot on the United Nations list of global cultural treasures yesterday. UNESCO, the world body's cultural and scientific agency, added reggae to its collection of intangible cultural heritage deemed worthy of protection and promotion, along with a dozen other traditions from around the world. UNESCO noted in a statement that while reggae started out as, quote, the voice of the marginalized, end quote, it is now played and embraced by a wide cross-section of society, including various genders, ethnic and religious groups. UNESCO says, quote, its contribution to international discourse on issues of injustice, resistance, love, and humanity underscores the dynamics of the elements as being at once cerebral, socio-political, sensual, and spiritual. UNESCO is best known for its prestigious World Heritage List of outstanding cultural and natural sites, which include the Grand Canyon, the Great Wall of China, and the Old City of Jerusalem.
Don't give up, I said there ain't no giving in, no. Rastafari guide your knife from the beginning. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, is reporting that there is no E. coli contaminant on lettuce of any type produced locally. RADA, in a statement yesterday afternoon, said it is aware of the conditions under which lettuce is produced by farmers and can facilitate traceability from the field. The Agriculture Ministry last week imposed a ban on the importation of romaine lettuce because of the E. coli outbreak in the United States. RADA said that locally produced lettuce is safe for consumption. The US dollar yesterday ended trading at Jamaican $127.61, up by 27 cents. According to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary, the Canadian dollar ended trading at $95.66, down from $96.34, while the British pound sterling ended trading at $162.67, up from $162.63. In regional news, Latin America and the Caribbean is the most violent region on the planet, accounting for 39% of the world's murders. That's according to an Inter-American Development Bank study published yesterday. That amounts to more than 2.5 million murders in less than 2 decades, 75% of which were committed using firearms. Robbery is also 3 times higher than the world average, 321.7 against 108 per 1,000 inhabitants. And 41 of the 50 most dangerous cities in the world are found in the region. The murder statistic is particularly shocking, as only 9% of the world's population live in the region, and yet it is the only one where homicide is the main external cause of death, 52%. In sports, the ISA Digital Manning Cup final between St. George's College and Kingston College should be a showdown today. Game time is set at 6 p.m. at the National Stadium. This is the first time both schools are meeting in a Manning Cup final in the 109-year history of the competition. St. George's College have won the Cup 22 times, while KC are 14-time champions. They are the second and third most successful schools in the history of the competition, and one at the end of today's game will add another title. Both schools are rich in footballing history and both are led by two very good coaches. One is Neville Bell, who has won the Manning Cup on 5 occasions with the Light Blues, while down the road to the east, KC's Ludlow Bernard will be chasing his first hold. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.